Did you guys know Tadej is, if he wins, it will be his 4th tour, and he's younger than Lance when he won his first tour.
Right. Really?
Cool. So we could have a little bit left of the Pogačar reign.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Move podcast, presented to you each and every day by Ketone IQ, joined by Sir Bradley Wiggins, Mr. George Hincapie. George, I was at dinner with you last night. And by the way, before we get into this, you were wearing the hat, and the hat, I'm not going to let this die.
The hat needs to come here?
Bro.
All right. Let's see when would be the best day to bring it in. I gotta change my whole fit if I bring the hat.
Bring it.
I can't just wear a t-shirt.
Just
with the
give
hat.
it to me, and I will bring it.
Okay.
Yeah, the people want the hat. Talking about stage 14 boys tours, are 2 weeks into this thing. I feel like I'm riding the Tour de France. You know, you boys, you're getting a little tired.
Getting tired.
Yeah, it wears on us. Stage 14. Alain, what did we do?
Stage 14, from Pau to Luchon Superbagnères. From Pau to Luchon Superbagnères.
Okay, that's
very French.
That's so French. I actually saw Alain yesterday. I was in town. My family made me go shopping.
Yeah, we heard you had to do an emergency bathroom break.
No, I had to go to the bathroom. This one store, hey, we don't have a bathroom. So I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I got to go be around strangers. And I walked into this like restaurant. Alain was sitting there outside the restaurant. I said, thank God. Somebody I know. Give me a little cover.
So was it worth blowing us off for the Indy Pass ride?
It was totally worth it. I wasn't kidding when I said I'm retired from training with you.
The people want to see you riding.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Maybe 2026. Look, a bit of a salvage for Team Ineos today. How do you say his first name? Thymen?
Thymen?
Is how for those that Thymen. Thymen Arensman, Dutch rider, has previously won some races, won a stage in the Tour Spain, Tour Poland. Certainly nothing like this. Had a go about a week ago. You know, but if you're Ineos, it's great to win a stage in the Tour de France. We were looking it up before the show. £55 million budget.
Oh,
£55 million budgets don't aim to win stages in Grand Tours, but nonetheless,
haven't won a stage in 2 years before this. So,
wow,
yeah,
wow. Speaking of that dinner last night, George, and we talked in the past about you hammering the Vin Rouge and how that affects your sleep. I have been looking around for this Dreamshot. I cannot find it anywhere here in the studio.
Yeah, I thought we had a bunch more.
Oh, I grabbed some.
You grab everything. It's all gone.
That's what it's for.
And I mean all gone. Like seeing the douche is gone. We launched it on this show Sunday, and it totally sold out. That's over 50,000 bottles. It's just mind-boggling. 50,000 bottles of the Dreamshot has been sold out. And for the reason is if you happen to be one of the people that are half of Americans who struggle with sleep, especially if you wake up during the night, you should try the Dreamshot. You can pre-order right now at thefeed.com for the next delivery. Oh boy, not coming until August 4th.
Well, speaking of the feed, Matt dropped off another product I've been using in the gym, really helping me train with the altitude, the nitric oxide.
Yeah, Lance, you should try it. Maybe you won't whine as much or start riding with me once again.
Easy. What is it? What's it all about?
Nitric Oxide Pro. It boosts your blood flow. Originally developed for people with high blood pressure, but I use it daily now. I can definitely feel it when I'm riding, but also feel it when I'm playing tennis. It really makes a difference.
Well, you can get these test strips with it too, so you can actually see if it's working. You put them in your tongue for a couple of seconds. The darker purple it is, the more nitric oxide you are producing.
These feet guys have got it all figured out.
Yeah, the new Nitric Oxide Pro just launched in 2 pills once a day, and it lasts a full 24 hours. I just took mine right before the show.
Oh boy.
Well, not that I have an issue with this, but for you older guys, it also increases blood flow everywhere.
Oh, it keeps getting better and better.
That was a big hit with... Like we said at the top of the show, it's been 2 weeks, right? You know, we also get tired. You know, conditions vary.
Yeah, I am feeling tired. But you know what's funny? People don't realize, like, when you're in the Tour de France, and you guys back me up on this, don't you feel like your body just gets in this zone where it just gives you 6 hours a day where you know you have to perform 6 hours a day, and the rest of the day is like just precious time. The 18 hours left in the day is just about recovery. It goes by so quick, but arguably on just normal people like us, we feel more tired watching the race than these guys probably feel.
Well, I think it went too quick for Remco today, didn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And tour life is simple. It's very difficult, but it's simple. Right? You got to focus on the race, and then after that, you're like, I just have to rest and recover. That's a simple life, right? And we miss that sometimes. Zwift also today. Zwift recently rolled out its new Cog and Click product. It's such a simple yet brilliant product. You can use it on almost any bike that you own. You touched on Remco. He's got he spends a ton of time on Zwift.
Yep.
He might be spending a little more time here in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about Remco. And that's I don't want to throw shade. He is a tremendous rider, but and he also does spend a lot of time on Zwift. The new Cog and Click makes you feel like you're on a top-end smart trainer. Zwift Ready trainers are available from all the top manufacturers: Wahoo, Garmin, Elite, Jet Black, and Decathlon, setting a new benchmark for indoor training. All Zwift Ready trainers come with the new Zwift Cog and Click installed, making them ready to ride from the box. No extras needed. Zwift Ready trainers start at just $299, meaning anyone can jump into world-class indoor training without breaking the bank. And we will talk about Remco in a minute. I think that's the biggest story of the day, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Also today brought to you by Bubs Naturals. You guys know the deal. I've put my body through a lot over the years. Decades of racing, training, crashing. Yes, there's no shortage of wear and tear. We did see some crashes today, one of which Skelmo's out of the race, unfortunately. So when I find something that actually helps me feel better day to day, I pay attention. I've been using Bubs Naturals collagen peptides for a few months now, just a scoop of it into my morning coffee. And I got to say, I feel the difference. My knees aren't barking at me. My back isn't barking at me. And I swear, even my hair is growing faster. Somebody asked me the other day if I wanted Sir Bradley. Actually, it was Coltman. Asked me if I wanted Sir Bradley to buzz my hair. I said, no, it isn't buzzing nothing.
Why not?
Because
I'll do it. If you do it.
Bubs makes seriously clean, high-quality collagen sourced from grass-fed cows, NSF certified for sport, and it dissolves super easy. Here's a cool thing. It is built to honor Glenn Bub Doherty, a Navy SEAL and American hero who laid down his life in Benghazi. Glenn stood for self-improvement and helping others, which is baked into everything Bubs does. They even donate 10% of profits to charity in his honor. And I love the tagline, die young as late as possible. Head on over to bubsnaturals.com. Use the code THEMOVE for 20% off your first order over at bubsnaturals.com.
Oh, what a day. A lot of people are saying race is over, Pogačar is killing these guys, but this is arguably could be some of the most exciting racing in the Tour de France. Why? Because we have like 10 different races going on. We have races for the podium. We have races for the green jersey. We have team classification, which we saw Visma really going all out to get the top three guys in there to continue leading the team classification. Yeah, we have the mountain jersey battle. I mean, I love these.
Also the white jersey.
The white jersey battle. I love these intra-race battles. That is going to make the racing moving forward a lot more dynamic and exciting. Even though Pogačar is crushing it, there's a lot of other exciting stuff going on.
He's totally in control, as expected. I thought he rode. His team looked great. A team that, as we've said, has been depleted. He's totally in control. We just have questions about Visma, right? And sometimes, look, you saw Yates up in the group. You saw or in the break. You saw Sepp Kuss up there. They just didn't have it. Like, this team is off. And that makes it very hard. I don't care if Johan Brunel is your tactician. It just makes it hard when the team doesn't have the legs to. It's one thing to be in the break, but you have to be there and getting time and putting pressure on UAE and Pogačar. Spencer, I know you were just scratching your head watching some of these, just the way it played out.
Well, we have a finite number of like mountain stages. places to pressure Pogačar. We're coming out of, they got dinged up pretty bad, and then their response is, we're going to put a bunch of people in the breakaway and go for the stage win. Good luck, Jonas. Oh, by the way, you're isolated on the final climb. You can probably drop Pogačar, right? It just felt like they've given up and now they're going for stage wins. Maybe that's the right move, but I don't know. Rainy Pyrenees and mountain stages, like, don't you, maybe this isn't sporting, but like put the team on the front, pressure them on descents, like try to get them to crash, something like that.
No, I mentioned it the other day.
We can't say that.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I like this strategy. It's going to give guys like Sepp and Matteo Jorgensen chances to perhaps win a stage. They've done that strategy. They've tried to lead it, make it harder, but essentially they've done the work for Pogačar. This first 13 stages, 14 stages. I think they got to mix it up now and go for stage wins. And look, Jonas had a better day today. Obviously, didn't do any damage to Pogačar, but he looked pretty good out there.
2 in a row.
Yeah,
2 days. I thought he looked good. He was the second best guy in the race yesterday, and he was the second best guy in the race today. I mean, 3 days ago, I did not think he was the second best guy in the race.
Well, we should say, so Adam Yates is setting, Thymen Arensman, by the way, great ride. Like, super impressive
yes,
to win that stage.
Impressive.
He's funny, he's 25, and it's like, this is his comeback because he won a stage at the 2022 Vuelta on Sunweb, was supposed to be this like big star, GC star. He finishes high up in the GC, he goes to Ineos, has kind of been lost in the wilderness, but he's only 25 years old, and now he's kind of reemerging. But in that GC group behind, Adam Yates is on the front. They're not really pulling that much time back, and you can tell everyone's pinned behind. Yeah. So that is kind of the fundamental problem. Like, it's easy for Pogačar. Everyone else is on the limit. Realistically, what can you do in that situation?
Well, partly I think the reason why he was able to hold that gap is it was wet downhills, and if you're on your own or with a small group, you can really choose your lines and save a lot more energy in the peloton behind, where they're fighting for position, not really knowing what's going to happen in front of them. There could be a crash at any moment. It's just a lot more stressful. So perhaps that's why he was able to keep that pace and not lose that much time on the final climb. But it's still a really incredible ride he pulled off today.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the adrenaline and motivation that goes with being 2 minutes up the road, 3 minutes up the road. I mean, you can, and it's nicer to ride a wet descent. And I remember, George, you'll remember those descents, me screaming at you guys.
Yeah, you'd always slow down on the radio. Why are you going so fast?
I was like, why?
I'll tell you why.
Stop.
I'll tell you why. The answer is easy, because when you're pulling on the front all day and suffering in the wind, you can really make people hurt behind you when you're pulling on these downhills. And you know they're 20, 30 back. You know that they're getting the whiplash effect. And you're like, okay, now it's time for you to suffer.
All the spray off the wheels.
Yeah, all the spray. And unfortunately, Lance would yell at me all the time, make me slow down. So I wouldn't be able to reap the benefits of making other people suffer on the downhills as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, let's talk about Remco, because Bradley, it just came to be, right? You thought yesterday there was a chance that he would drop out, and you saw it right away. Right when the Tourmalet started, he got distanced. Hard. I mean, that's very early in the stage. It was and probably warm on that side, actually. I mean, we saw the conditions at the top and for the rest of the stage, but probably pretty hot leading up to that. Packed it in.
Yeah, Remco is such a champion, and he's great when he's winning. He's not the best at managing these situations when he's on the back foot.
Right.
And I don't know if obviously the weight of the nation, Belgium on his shoulders, he's the next Eddie Merckx in their eyes. Double Olympic champion, and you could see the frustration with him when he was telling the cameras to get back and get out of the way, do not follow me, and it was just a matter of time. And I saw how disillusioned he was yesterday at the finish, and to get caught in a time trial as well, that's the big thing yesterday.
Right. Yeah, you said it.
Olympic
you called
champion.
it.
But I mean, let me ask you this, Bradley: what does he have to gain when he's dropped on the first climb? I mean, a guy like that, double Olympic champion, has won so many races, 3rd place last year. Is he just going to keep riding to get through?
Well, no, I mean, exactly. And that's what I said. Where does he go from here? He's a winner.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any extra for groveling around the next week of the Tour de France. There's the Vuelta to come. Yeah. This is a guy who, don't forget, he had nearly 4 months off his bike in the winter with that crash. And ever since then, he's been chasing his tail. He's won time trials, of course. He came back and won his first race early in the year where he beat Wout van Aert. He won in Romandy, he won in the Dauphiné in time trial, won here in the time trial, but
almost
he just doesn't. Amstel. Yeah, he just doesn't have that background from a winter's work.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot going on, right? In terms of his team, the team that he's currently on, the speculation that I think is at this point probably pretty reliable that he is leaving that team, going to another team. So you're thinking, you start to bank some of this energy. Whether or not he is going to Red Bull, I think leads to an entirely different conversation amongst us, right? With the exceptional ride that Lipawitz is doing.
Yeah.
This is going to shape up. I wouldn't want to be the general manager of that team. I mean, believe me, Lipawitz is paying attention. This kid's 25 years old. He's now on the podium. He's a German rider. Germany is a very important, as we all know, it's a very important country for the sport of cycling. He's into the white jersey. If you believe what you read on the internet, his contract is up. There's a lot going on there, right? I wouldn't dismiss him, right? But this kid has potential.
I mean, look what they're facing now. I mean, we got Tadej Pogačar, that is the dominant force in cycling, and who knows how much longer he can go, probably several years.
I agree.
Their only option, I think, is to stack as many cards as they can against him. They're not going to get a guy that can potentially beat him one-on-one. I think they just got to get as many podium contenders as possible. They got the money. Why not? What else are they going to do with it?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Did you guys know Tadej is, if he wins, if he wins, it will be his 4th tour, and he's younger than Lance when he won his first tour.
Right. Really?
So we could have a little bit left of the Pogačar reign. But just on Remco, I agree with you, George. Like, that's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Throw a bunch of spaghetti at Pogačar. See what happens. The thing I wonder about Remco is, like, do you guys remember this Peter Attia interview with Pogačar? And he said in the offseason, he's 2 kilos above his Tour de France weight. That's not very much.
No.
Remco has to lose a lot of weight to climb well. And you kind of wonder, is this like up and down? Does that make him more inconsistent than the other guys?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, these days they got the nutrition so dialed in that I wouldn't see that as a factor. I know back in our day, we'd put on a lot more than 2 kilos in the off season.
Because he doesn't climb that well really outside like he was pretty good at the Tour last year, and then he always gets dropped at the Dauphiné, and then it's like, I'll be good at the Tour. Yeah. But is that sustainable in 2020 in this era? I don't know.
I go back to what I said 2 days ago. I mean, there are just riders that they can win every other race on the calendar. That there is something, there's some mojo about the Tour de France that they are just not suited for. It's just not. And I'm not, but I'm talking about history, but you have to put it out there, right? Remco could be one of those guys.
Impressive he started. I mean, it would have been disappointing if he pulled out before.
Yeah, he couldn't have done that.
You're right, though, Wiggo. With that cool down area yesterday,
yeah,
I mean, it was like he just got plopped on another planet. He didn't know where he was.
No.
And I think what you just said is him getting caught in a time trial that's in his wildest
that's a smack in the face.
Yeah, he never would have imagined that.
And the start today was crazy fast. Like, I turned it on at 5, and it was like they were approaching the Tourmalet. I was like, what happened to this race? Like, it was just all out. So that couldn't have helped him.
Yeah, and talk about that first green jersey sprint. I mean, that was pretty hard fought after, and Milan ended up winning that. Evenepoel got second.
Milan was off the front by himself.
Yeah.
And then they called him back. And then the race was, I mean, you guys maybe were onto something about the time cut. Maybe it was too generous because they were flying. Like, everyone was trying to be in the breakaway. Everyone could follow every move. And then Little Trek just let a little move with Geraint Thomas go and pigged it back.
Yeah.
Milan takes max points.
Speaking of the adjusted time cut yesterday, we weren't the only ones who were not in support of that. I read a headline on one of the cycling things that there were quite a few voices in the peloton that said, wait a minute. And that's right. Like, if you just start with the rules. These are the rules. These are the time cuts. And I'm sorry, if you can't make a 33% time cut, then
apparently Tim Melier would not have made that.
Right. Okay. Well, then go pack your bags and go home. That's the way.
He probably also rode to the time cut. So maybe
he would. I mean, if these guys, they can all make it. If they get on the start line and they go as hard as they can all make it. They're professional cyclists. I don't care if they're sprinters or they can't climb. They can all make it. Got to get out there and try.
Yeah. Right. And now we're looking at a super interesting situation with Green. Maybe we'll talk about it on the other side of the break. But Van der Poel got second in that sprint. Yeah. Now he's like pressuring Milan and Pogačar.
Yeah, I would be nervous about that situation.
We had been thinking about Milan and Pogačar, and you dropped the Matthew Van der Poel factor here. And that's because he did. He rolled into second, beat Germay.
Yeah.
And we'll probably most likely see him in the breakaway tomorrow.
Yeah.
Being the way he's riding. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in 2 and 32. All right. And we are back. Spencer, you brought it up, talking about age, Tadej's age, and if he can win this year. I mean, obviously, Tadej's still a very young rider. 6 out of the top 10 are 25 years or younger. I mean, that's just. But you had another stat on 30-year-olds. There's only 2 30-plus-year-olds in the top, I think, 30. I mean, it's just
not good for us that are over 30. It's bad news. But the extinction of like the 30-plus-year-old GC contender is really shocking to me. Also, do we need to retool the white jersey? Because half of the top 10 is in the white jersey classification.
Well, we were saying that a couple of years ago when Tadej just kept having the white jersey. And as the sport was evolving younger and younger, that we thought that wasn't a bad idea.
It should be U23.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Remco's been pro for the better part of a decade, and he's still in contention for the white jersey.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, no DSO.
Well, he was until today.
Well, he was. Also, I mean, not to go back to Remco, but he's perceived as a very young rider. He's almost the same age as Pogačar. Yeah. Like, you actually... Not that they should start to panic, but it's like the opportunities are not endless. Like you can't just, and he got hit by a car, so it's not his fault, but wasted years start to add up.
Yeah. Speaking of young riders, we have to have our daily segment on our man, Oscar Onley. I mean, it was a week ago. We're like, wait a minute, who's this? And now he's up into fourth from the Scottish Highlands straight into
and apparently
fourth.
He had a mechanical.
Yeah, I think that was why he got detached.
Yeah,
it was a mechanical.
I mean, what? He's riding a hell of a race.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, the only X factor I want to throw out there from a strategy standpoint, and we'll have to look ahead a few days, and we'll talk about tomorrow's stage towards the end of the show. But after tomorrow's stage, we have the rest day. I've always said, and I will always believe that rest days are complicated, and the day after the rest day can be a really critical day. So my one X factor that I'm going to throw out there is tomorrow, rest day, boom, Tuesday, straight into Mont Ventoux. Like if I'm Visma, I'm thinking, I mean, you're thinking, let's, hopefully somebody comes out of the rest day, somebody being Pogačar comes out of the rest day. Just not ideal. Ventoux, hardest climb of the race for 2025. You know, I mean, I personally would hate to ride Mont Ventoux the day after a rest day.
With crosswinds, potentially.
With crosswinds.
Leading into it.
You do have a flat run in, so even if you wake up a little blockato,
but
you could always get through it, I think.
Well, get through it, but if you hit the bottom slopes of Ventoux, you're not feeling 100%. That's not a good place to be.
But my point is, it's so much flat beforehand that if you're feeling kind of, rusty from the rest day, that by the time you get to Ventoux, you should have opened up theoretically, I would say.
Yeah. Just to touch on something Jonas said at the end of the stage, he said today was, I think his quote was, the hardest mountain stage I've ever done.
Wow.
And it looked like Pogačar did not stand up, did not open his mouth.
No.
And then Bradley, I think you were pretty impressed with Jonas in the final kilometer.
Well, I mean, obviously he had said in his interview he was expecting Tadej to attack because they set up like he was going to attack the team.
Yeah.
And when he realised the 4K to go that Tadej wasn't going to attack, he tried himself. Good attack, but then Tadej was pretty easy on the wheel, so he didn't even get out of the saddle. But then in the last couple of hundred,
was on the wheel.
Yeah, in the last couple of 100 meters, I couldn't work out initially why Jonas was riding against the barrier, looking over his right shoulder as if they were coming in to win Milan-San Remo or something. And obviously, it was the time bonuses, and they were that decisive that it warranted him doing that. And then Tadej opens up the sprint and he loses 4 seconds anyway.
4 seconds of real time and then 2 seconds in the time bonus.
Exactly.
So he loses 6
So
seconds.
he would have been better just riding to the line and not pissing Tadej off.
Yeah.
I agree. I can't remember any time when both of y'all came to a finish of a mountaintop finish with, not going for the win, going for the secondary places and actually going full gas sprinting for that with 1 or 2 or 3 other guys.
But
these guys do it every time. I don't get it.
When the lead's already 4 minutes anyway, we're talking.
I think it kind of summed up their overthinking tour so far. It's just like, why are we? But then you're baiting him in to attack you. If he just rode hard, Pogačar probably just sits on his wheel.
Yep, I agree. But let's just look in the bright side of this. He's attacking, 4K to go. He's exposing himself. He's making the race. We got excited. We jumped up saying he's attacking. Obviously, did not do any damage whatsoever, but the confidence I think is rising, and it's still a long way to go.
It also sounds like we're mocking him daily for deploying the tactics he does. Let's not forget he's come up against someone who's going to be the greatest cyclist that ever lived.
That's right.
By the time he retires, and fair play to him for having a go.
Yeah, and he's in the last 2 days he's looked much better. Right, so hold on to that.
Producing his best numbers ever. He said yesterday was his best performance ever.
Yeah, that's
pretty incredible.
I had someone reach out and be like, I think you're overestimating their power. And I'm like, they're going Pogačar went 2 minutes 20 seconds faster than the last time he did that climb. So can you imagine his power the last time he did it? And he's going 2 minutes 20 seconds faster. That's a lot of power you got to do.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. We get, as former cyclists, you get a lot of questions about, hey, what's this like and what's that like and how'd you do this and how'd you do that, and one of the more common questions is riding in the big mountains and having the fans there, and that question is, aren't you afraid that they're not going to get out of the way? And my response has always been like, no, they always get out of the way, because there's a car. Normally there's a car or a fleet of cars right behind us, so they don't want to get hit by the car. Well, that didn't happen today. No. Here's the Ineos team car. Oh man! Oh no! One more time.
Do we have a report on how that Spectator is?
Oh,
ouch!
And this is again.
I want to just put the rumor out there that it was Dave Brailsford driving the car. But that was unconfirmed, but that's what I've heard.
Paul Kimmage on the side of the road. These are illegal.
You know what, Spencer? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?
I know we got a new Lance on the show.
Mean, this is you. You are incredibly spicy today. I mean, there've been a couple of digs that are not Spencer-esque. I mean, there's only one person normally who's an asshole on the show, and it's me. Now, Bradley making a run. But these two over here, you're supposed to be like Sesame Street, okay? I mean that
we're 2 weeks in. We're 2 weeks in.
Spencer is
going to happen.
You might want to go for a long hike today. I mean, hang on a second. Hold on. Yeah, the empath in me. I feel something. I feel something from Spencer. Wife is in Europe with a kid. It's been 2 weeks. I feel it.
That desk is getting higher by the day.
I feel it.
It was raining in Snowmass this morning, and I woke up and my car was blocked in.
See, I mean, it's the small things, Yeah. Somebody didn't flush up at the team house. Liz,
that's forgivable.
Where's it?
Could happen to anybody.
I mean, it's happening. It's happening. 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in, baby. As I said at the top, Ketone IQ is our presenting sponsor. And we've had, let's be fair and transparent. We've had some questions. Look, they're very aligned with Visma. Visma is on the back foot. Don't give up on them. I mean, and the cool thing about ketones is really pervasive, not just in cycling, but in many, many other sports. Sort of making its way into the Big Five here in the United States. The performance gains and the recovery gains are undeniable. Also new flavor options, including options with caffeine, pretty amazing. But the data doesn't lie. Sprint power boosted by 19%, peak power 13%, fatigue 10%. Also improved blood flow, higher muscle oxygenation, better endurance and stamina. Take your shot. Get 20% off your order at ketone.com/TheMove. And the new code is TheMove. Ketone.com/TheMove. Last one of the day. Ecoy. What do you think they came up with the name Ecoy? Do you know, George? I'm actually curious.
I have no idea. No.
Does that stand for something?
I like the name, though.
No.
I've got I do know.
Is our
GC who runs the company?
Yeah, awesome dude.
Yeah, so he really liked the branding of Oakley, and that was his sort of inspiration for it. I know it doesn't resemble anything to do with Oakley, but that was what he told me. Where he
and
got
it's 4 letters. Like the science and the research says that 4-letter brands do better. Coke, Nike, whatever. Right? I don't know where I was going with this. Anyways,
I thought you had the answer.
I don't have the answer.
Okay.
Ecoy's, but I'll tell you what they are. Ecoy is a leading brand in Europe specializing in cycling equipment from head to toe. It is one of the few brands that truly develops its product in close collaboration with athletes across all disciplines: road cycling, triathlon, gravel, mountain bike. It is the most represented brand in this Tour de France. They have 4 teams. Ecoy also equips numerous riders with shoes, and check this out, they even have the Ecoy PW8. This new shoe and pedal setup is really sexy. Your foot right on the spindle, super light, all integrated. Could be a game changer. Their products are available exclusively online at Ecoy, E-K-O-I, ecoy.com. The entire Ecoy website is currently on sale until the end of July with discounts of up to 60%. That's over there at ecoy.com. The code is THEMOVE15. Alrighty.
We're going on to tomorrow's
Let's
stage?
have a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's a breakaway, a breakaway special, baby. All you breakaway artists, tomorrow's your day. Although 59 kilometers in, green jersey, intermediate sprint.
You know who's in the breakaway tomorrow? Evenepoel and Quinn Simmons in the breakaway tomorrow.
I would not disagree with that.
Well, then tomorrow,
I guess the question is it a 10-man break or is it a 30-man break?
well, it's probably going to go, if we assume that
Let's pull it back up.
Little Trek will hold it together until that first sprint point, then the break's going to go on the climb. So maybe a smaller breakaway, but with very strong riders.
Yeah, which could affect Quinn making the breakaway if he's got to work that whole first 55K to keep that group together for the sprint.
But then it's a 50-point finish. Like today was a 20-point finish, so Pogačar gets 17 points for a second.
Okay.
So tomorrow, like if Vanderpoel gets in that move and wins that stage, or even gets second, that's a lot of points he's getting for the green jersey.
Well, the way he's going, if he wants to go in the breakaway, it's going to be hard to control that,
Yeah.
especially over those climbs. Yeah. Again, all these little intra races going on is making the tour really, really exciting.
Not that long either. What is it? Said 160 something kilometers. Guys start to see that and they think, "Oh, this is a
Short stage.
They call that a short stage." And for you folks at home that train all year to go do a 100-mile ride or 100-mile fondo, these guys look at tomorrow's 100-mile stage, actually a little more than 100, and they think, "Oof, we can manage nutrition. This isn't that hard. The climbs are early in the race. All right, let's just get ourselves to the rest day. Stay out of trouble."
And some of these stages are going by so fast. Like today was a big mountain stage, sub 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're averaging like 40K an hour.
Yeah.
Which is nuts over those climbs.
And I mean, it is, I think you're right, George. I'm actually more excited about this green jersey battle than I am the GC. And tomorrow is probably one of the most important days because if Milan has to get those sprint points, and then if Vanderpoel wins the stage, he's really turned it around on Pogačar and Milan. I'm assuming Pogačar won't be in the breakaway tomorrow. Is that safe to assume?
That's safe to
If
say.
he wants to be in the breakaway, he probably could be, but hopefully not.
That'd be a little greedy, perhaps.
It's still and it's still this race for the final spot on the podium. This is gonna be exciting. Guys and their teams are gonna race hard for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't foresee anything happening tomorrow in that.
No. But just as this to Spencer's point of getting excited, or maybe it was your point about the green jersey competition. I think this fight for the podium could be interesting.
And your favorite jersey, the KOM jersey, Lenny Martinez.
Lenny
Awesome
Martinez,
ride today.
this guy. I mean, who knows which Lenny Martinez shows up?
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, this dude is Jekyll or Hyde. And he was great today.
Well, there's no doubt he can make those, like a day like today, there's no panic hookings getting in that breakaway. I mean, Tourmalet is one of the hardest climbs in the Pyrenees. So to get away there, obviously you got to be a great climber. And he's all in for getting these early mountain points. And for sure he's going to keep doing that the rest of the race.
If Lipawitz gets third, Onley's fourth, Vauquelin's fifth, who do you guys think is the next rider to win the Tour that's not Tadej Pogačar? Do you think it's one of those guys, or it's someone we're not even talking about right now?
It's going to be a while, I think.
I mean, it depends which Tadej shows up, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we're talking the Tadej of this year, I mean, you can't see anyone.
Well, but you mean if Tadej's not?
At some point, he will not win a Tour de France.
Right.
and someone will beat him.
I still think Jonas would be the next person to beat him if that happens.
And I think that person that you imagine, if it's years down the road, that's somebody that's not in this race.
Someone like Del Toro.
Toro.
I think he's so good right now that he will decide when he doesn't win the Tour de France. He'll be like, I won. I see you in the douches.
Very rare does that happen.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Rare.
But
Well, he better get a move on, because once he's over 30, as the stats show,
he'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting to think about. Yeah.
short careers now.
Yeah.
Shorter careers.
The Ventum trivia of the day. Well, you were yesterday when I asked the question, you were looking at me like I had three heads. You had to have known the answer.
I did know the answer, but I was trying to play it for the benefit.
You played it up. You played me.
Yeah, that's good.
I was like, wow, I'm stumped. And you're sitting. Yesterday's question: the high altitude landing strip and finishing location of yesterday's uphill time trial holds a special significance to somebody at this desk. Boom, Sir Bradley Wiggins. He clinched yellow here on his way to winning the 2012 Tour de France.
It was the last summit finish of that tour. Yeah.
Today's question: the Queen of the Pyrenees needs no introduction. The Col de Tourmalet is the most climbed mountain pass in the history of the Tour de France. In what year was it first featured in the Tour? In what year was it first featured in the Tour? Hint, it was a long time ago. Send your best guess to ventumracing.com/themove to be entered and win this year's grand prize, $5,000 of store credit towards any Ventum bike. ventumracing.com/themove.
our friend John Bealey just wrote in. He said Joao Almeida.
Almeida, but he's locked up there as well. So Del Toro and Almeida are both at UAE.
Yeah, top three stage races in the world.
He's almost the same age as
pick.
Pogacar too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is Pogacar's horsepower just, as we saw in the first 5 minutes yesterday, that's the fundamental problem. The guy just puts out a lot of power. What's interesting is when Froome is dominating, we had never even heard of Pogacar, we'd never heard of Vingegaard, and then they just seem to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, will that happen to us again?
I think so. I mean, the sport's always evolving. There's some young Slovenian kid that I think he just won the Baby Giro. Said it's the next phenom. So who knows? These people are coming up.
Slovenian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we drink? I was
What's
just
his name?
there. I drank the water.
I don't know his name.
I actually
off the
feel
top of my
worse
head.
since I was there. What is going on? Slovenia is like the size of
like 2
Travis
million.
County.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 2 million people in the entire country.
I mean,
and maybe the top 3 best player in the NBA is from there.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
crazy.
and then that's right. And then the question is, are the guys that we're talking about, the greats of today, or do they slow down? Do they lose power? Or are we going to now be talking about whole new power levels and speeds and times that?
Well, we're seeing it right in front of our eyes.
I mean, or a mix of both.
Yeah. Another odd little oddity is rarely do you see a rider win a Vuelta or Giro and then win the Tour. Almost all the modern Tour winners win the Tour as their first Grand Tour. So then that starts to muddy the waters too, because then you stop looking at these other Grand Tours and it's not a progression like you think it is.
No, but Tadej, he first came on the scene in the 2019 Vuelta. He won 3 stages.
And got 3rd overall.
Yeah.
Lipawitz actually where it's like, ooh, he's 3rd. That's
He was
kind of
19 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he won the Tour of California.
And he was
earlier that
at that time. I remember the 3rd stage he won there. It was a 60K solo breakaway.
Yeah.
So very much in the how he's winning now.
But that's the thing about that's at 19 and he's almost like at his finished form. And then even with Del Toro has a lot to improve before he's able to challenge Pogacar. And Pogacar just seemed to be fully good at 19, which is obviously rare. He might be the best of all time.
Yeah. Well, he will be.
Yes,
Yep.
I agree. Questions? Got anybody?
So it's
lobbing?
an interesting one
Okay,
from Paul.
Paul.
Do Visma's tactics suggest that they've been racing for 2nd place since the start of the Tour, trying to make things hard for everyone except for Pogacar?
No, I think they were just confident that they were going to be able to crack them. They had to try. They're going to continue to try. Hopefully they give their guys like Jorgensen and Sepp for some free cards to go for stage wins, but they'll keep battling. You saw today Jonas attacking with 4K to go. I think they got to go in with a strategy to try to win the race. I mean, you got to go in with hope. Damn, nobody else going to say anything?
No,
about
I mean, there's not much else to say.
Lance agreed with me.
I kind of criticize him for that Simon Yates stage win day, but in retrospect, it's good they got
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, I would just say I don't think that they had planned to drop him. I think they had hoped to drop him.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty realistic when it comes to his greatness.
So everyone saw Primoz Roglic's short socks the other day. This is a great question from Jamie. I'd forgotten about this. So we all thought it's ridiculous, right? And she says, didn't Lance start the long sock thing when he was riding the Tour, showing that he has had some unique fashion sense for decades? Could Primoz bring in the short sock revolution?
I would disagree with that. I don't think Lance started. It was Max Chiandri.
Yeah,
Silvio Martinello
and then Lance kind of was, but he obviously got more attention.
I tell you what, Lance did start black socks in the back.
Yeah. Gotta love black socks. I still love black socks. I have a fun sock story, and it jives with Roglic's short sock thing the other day. And this is not a well known story, but I do my first tour in 1993. Indurain is the king. Indurain is the Pogačar. I mean, this guy, you got around Indurain, you're like, oh my God, you just started getting nervous and scared. And of course I did too. I was wearing the national champion jersey. I'm with this great. And we're on, I believe it was the first stage, might have been the second stage. And I felt terrible. And we were on Motorola, and I forget who our sock sponsor was, but it was these thick wool socks. And it was hot out. And I was like, I feel terrible. And I said, I'm going to take my socks off. So I took my socks off and I rode barefoot, and not with short socks. I took the socks off, threw them on the road. And Indurain came by me, and he's like, and he's making this money. He's like pointing at my ankles, my feet, and he's making a money thing. And I'm like, what's he talking about? Well, he was saying, you're going to get fined for not having socks that are shown. And I was like, I was so freaked out because I was it was Indurain. B, I'm like, what did he just say? Like, is he giving me grief? Am I some sort of loser? He was saying, you're going to get fined for not wearing socks.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. It's
really?
So yeah,
crazy.
You do kind of wonder on hot days, should they not wear socks?
But I will tell you this: when I took those thick wool socks off on a hot day, I did feel better.
Well, think about like feet on just leather soles. No, that doesn't sound too comfortable to me.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear like it could have been a purposeful thing. Like, why are you going to cover 10 inches of your body with extra fabric on a 95-degree day?
Yeah.
Maybe don't. So you guys can defer this one. This might be too contentious, but who would win a hypothetical GC battle at the Tour de France? 2005 Lance Armstrong, 2012 Bradley Wiggins, current Tadej Pogačar, and current Jonas Vingegaard, all racing like modern technology.
I'd be fourth.
But it's 400 kilometers of time trials.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question, though. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it is like an unanswerable question.
Was Wilt Chamberlain better than Michael Jordan?
Yeah, it was
Is
Jordan.
LeBron better than Jordan?
Yeah, it goes to the Jordan LeBron debate, which I seem to have all too often with my son, who swears up and down that LeBron James is nobody's even close. He's the greatest of all time, and I grew up in the Jordan era, and I'm like, if you look at championships, if you look at the way he led the team, even as he led it with an iron fist, I mean, he inspired that team. You can look at LeBron. He doesn't have the championship total. He seemingly does not lead a team the same way that MJ does.
And his shoes are sold more.
And he's done well selling shoes. Very well.
Yeah.
Social media. And
Jordan's strike rate is unbelievable.
And he's getting back into commentating. Is that correct?
I kind of don't like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the move.
Boy, you really
back to the move.
You really, Spencer. We got another week.
I like that I never hear from Michael Jordan. Yeah. It's nice. I do think he's the best of all time. This is not the place or time to talk about it. Yeah. Here, one more question from Miguel.
And then we'll go.
Do the former tour winners on this show see anyone now that they think they could mentor into tour winnership, into becoming a tour winner?
Oscar Onley.
Ooh, nice.
I like that.
Speaking of Oscar Onley, and he's from your part of the, I don't know how, by the way, I don't know how all this works, right? You got Great Britain, you have these two islands, one of them's Ireland. Ireland's actually got two parts. So one part says, no, we're not a part of you. And then, but if you stick to the island on the right, the one that I think is England. Then you've got these other places, Wales, Scotland. So this kid is from the Highlands of Scotland. He probably
he's from the borders.
Whatever, it's close enough. He probably thinks I'm not.
Scotland's a big country.
Right. So he says, I'm not a part of you. Like, anyhow, he might not. Where I'm going with this is we need you because he is our man.
Slide into his DM.
Yeah.
All right. Oscar, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Sir Bradley Wiggins, dear Oscar, check your, I don't know what they call it on Instagram, but not when you're DMing with your girlfriend or your best friend or your mom, but in the other bucket of randos and weirdos. Sir Bradley Wiggins is going to be dropping in there because we love you and we want you on the move.
We'll give you a free pot of collagen if you come on.
And our fingers are
Zwift
crossed.
click and collect.
And
I don't know if we can.
And our fingers are crossed.
Make sure you
Let's make it happen.
click the request tabs, Oscar. I know it's
the double O.
sometimes.
The double O. He's riding a hell of a race out of nowhere, man. This is the beauty of the tour. You get these guys that just come out of nowhere and fast forward, boom, here we are talking about them every single day. Cool to see.
And then send your questions to info@wedo.team.
Info. Wow. At least I'm not in a bad mood. info@wedo.team, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.